everyone. This is Chichi Dagago Wariso, aka Blossoms Korner, your family and parenting coach, and you're welcome to a wonderful session. Well, it's been 2 months we've been away from the internet space, and it was majorly out of my control. I was rushed to the hospital for surgery, but I'm fine. I'm back. I had an ovarian cyst surgery. It's been on for a while, and I'm happy that it's been taken out, and I pray that there's not going to be a return, because I thank God for healing. I'm fine. I'm back, and everything is back to normal. So we're also going to be taking on a different format on the corner this period. So instead of just coming and teaching on basic things that we need to know as parents, I want us to also share our experiences as parents, as child carers, as keepers of, custodians of children. I want us to rub off on the knowledge that we've all gathered. They say iron sharpeneth iron. So let's learn from each other's mistakes, our ups and our downs, and make our children better than what they currently are, and better than even what we expect from them. And they learn from us, they watch us. So let's use our experiences as stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks to becoming better parents. So we're going to be sharing a lot of experiences. So please, I'll appreciate your feedback, your comments. I'm going to be asking certain questions. How did we do this? I'm going to tell my own story of how I handled certain scenarios. I'm going to be bringing on special people on the program to also discuss how they handled it from the medical point of view, from different aspects of life, so that we know if we're in the right or in the wrong. But that aside, welcome to a beautiful program today. We're going to be talking about how we get our kids ready for school. It's back to school season. This is the last week of holiday for those of us here, and also those of you in Nigeria, I guess so. We're winding down to the end of the summer, the whole long summer holiday. It's coming to an end. So yes, I know that we've all been doing our back to school, but let's discuss it. Let's really bring it to the table. How do we get ready for back to school? When I was growing up as a young girl, I went to boarding school, myself and my siblings, and my mom used to be very, very articulate about the kind of things she bought, because we were in different schools. We were in different cities. I schooled in the east, my younger sister schooled in the north, and then partly in the west, and my kid sister schooled also in the west. So we didn't go to school close to home. So my mom had to make sure that she packed up, enough things that she felt we would need for the term. Sets of uniform in a particular number, maybe 2 sets of uniforms, 2 sets of day wears, 2 sets of outing wears, and whatever. We used to wear, we didn't have regular clothes in the boarding school. Your socks, you might go back maybe with 3 pairs of socks or 4 pairs of socks, pants, singlets, all those little things. And because we were in different schools, even though we all come back at the same time, but having to think of the fact that she has to do it in 3 phases, she needed to be able to articulate all of that. And she was a banker, so she had a very tight schedule. For those of us that grew up, you know how it was stressful for bankers then. So she used to make sure that as soon as we come back from holiday, yes, you're going to get that initial ginger. You're going to get that initial shouting of, "Oh, why did you misplace your uniform?" For me, it was something else. Once mom starts gingering like that, "I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that," I would just faint, because I cannot shout, I cannot take cane. But for my younger sister, unfortunately, I don't know, her box was always empty. She still, even though mom would say, "If you come back, in fact, if you misplace your uniform, don't come back to this house. I will do this, I will do that." Kaka will still come back with her clothes, her box empty, and nothing will happen. They will still buy it all over again. So yes, some it's always like that. There will still be those ones that will all make sure that they have to come back with everything intact. Some children will say, "Mommy, I didn't find it. I didn't find it." True. And really, they really don't know where it was. But that was part of growing up, right? And we learned that from her. So she used to learn how, she had to learn to make sure that all those things were gathered up early, even though she'll have to buy so many things over again, but at least let her know exactly what she's buying, so that when she's drawing up her budget, her back to school budget, she would know that, okay, I need to buy 10 pairs of whatever, 15 pairs of pants. And you know how it was now, especially when you have girls. So I actually learned that, I picked that up. And then, because I was the first, I kind of was really close to her. I also learned to, chikotala everybody. I was almost like the custodian of everybody. And even later in life, when my sisters had all gone away, I'd go home to visit my dad for the holiday, take my children home during the summer holiday. And my nieces and nephews, all my cousins will send their kids. You know how it is when grandparents they want the house to be all bubbly and all of that. So he'd be like, okay, you bring your kids for holiday, you bring your kids. So sometimes I could have like maybe 6, 7, 8 children under my custody. And you know what that means. It's really children from different backgrounds, having to bring them up. So over the years, I actually learned how to manage all of them, learned how to take care of them, understand them individually, to know that, okay, even though they are siblings, but they actually have different personalities, and it would not be right to fit a square peg in a round hole. You will be making a big mistake. You will be stressing yourself and stressing that child out. So I had to learn over the years to be able to manage these children. And that also helped me as well. So imagine when it's back to school like this, they're getting ready to go back to their respective parents, and I'd have to learn to shop for all of them. So I had to learn, okay, what are your shoe sizes? What do you wear? As a girl, you will need this. As a boy, you will need that. Make sure your hair has been cut. Make sure your hair has been made. You know how how it all goes. And all those things kind of resonated with me even after I got married and I started having my own children. So I learned that quite early. So as soon as my children come back from school, I wash out. In fact, what I do, I try to wash out their uniforms at the first week of the holiday, so that I can do an assessment. Who needs singlet? Who needs uniform? Whose uniform is tight? Okay, looks like a uniform is getting short. It needs to be replaced. And I articulate that. So in the course of the holiday, I'm also making my own budget for back to school. And well, like for me, by last week, my kids were ready for school. So it's something it's part of me. Well, I still know certain people, I don't want to mention their names, who just like the fire brigade approach. They just don't do it until few days to resumption. And it works for them. They still get everything done, even if it's the night before, even if it's 2 days before, they actually still get everything done. Kudos to them. It actually does work for them. Some people just like to, be put on edge so that it makes it look like, okay, everything has to be done, but for people like us, we just like to do it at our own time, slowly. And that also is what works for us, right? And for me, another thing again, why I adopted that approach, I realized that it's actually cheaper to do those things earlier, because you tend to save money doing it around this time. Like when I was in Lagos, when I was back in Nigeria in Lagos, if you go to a market like Aswani, if you know Aswani market well, if you go to buy school shoes at the beginning of the holiday, a pair of shoe, you could buy it for maybe 5,000 naira. In fact, you will even be the one picking, you can actually do shakara. Let me use the Nigerian slang. You can do shakara for the market women, because they know that, okay, they have a long time before they will actually sell off. But you see, this week, today is Tuesday, and school is resuming on Monday. Today is supposed to be the last Aswani before resumption. My dear, that pair of shoe I bought for 5,000 naira in July, by now, even 8,000, they will be, as in, you'll be the one begging, because they know that after now, okay, so that is always natural. That inflation comes up, you now will be the one on the begging end. But it still works. Those that it works for, it's perfectly fine. But for me personally, I like to do it at the beginning part of the holiday. Also, so many shops do back to school promo that on that time. Jumia does back to school promo. So many shops around also do back to school promo. Me, I'm a very thrifty person. I like to cash in on anything I can get cheaper than usual. So I like to cash in on all those promos and get those things done on time. So whichever one works for you, it's fine, as long as the most important thing is on the day of resumption, every parent who wants their children to look all smart and spicy and sharp, and not making your child look, oh, you don't have clean shoes on, your uniform wasn't ironed, today is the first day of school. That all those things impact negatively on the children. So no matter whenever it is you shop for your kids, at the beginning of the holiday, halfway in the holiday, at the end of the holiday, even on resumption day, all we have to ensure is that our children appear each day looking as smart as they can. It actually boosts their self-confidence when they see that they're looking as clean as other children, with their hair made properly, their hair cut properly, their uniform looking clean and nice, not having a big patch, or maybe they had a biro stain that wasn't washed out, or maybe had a smell, or the shoe wasn't polished, or the socks something, or maybe the shorts has a tear that really could have been patched or changed. It actually will make that child feel very shy and not very confident. Okay, so if we want to make our children better, as we say, these are the little things that we need to take into cognizance. Okay, so in the course of this video, or at the end of this video, I'm going to put up a checklist for parents of back to school supplies, the kind of things that we need to do, or we need to tick off on the box, and to be sure that our children are ready for school. What do I mean? Well, some kids can get sickly in the course of the term, and you would not want all those running around when you could really have done it initially. So if you have to set up doctor's appointments, make sure that they get their eyes, those who wear glasses, make sure that they've gotten their eyes checked, make sure that they've gotten their teeth, their general health checked. Those that are due for immunizations, make sure they get their immunizations, because it's school, they're going to be interacting with children. So if their immunity is low, then I bet you're going to be treating a lot of, they're going to be bringing home lots of infections for you. So make sure that those who are due for immunization, let them get their immunizations. Those who are due for boosters, let them get all that. Make sure that their after school clubs are all in check. Make sure that you know on what day your child has after school club, PE, or whatever after school club they need to be in. Clear out a portion of the freezer to start stocking up things for school, their juice, whatever it is they're going to be using for school, right? Make sure they have their food flasks, water bottles, lunch boxes, maybe fruit pouch, right? Smoothie pouch, sauce pouch, just make sure that they eat healthy as can be. We need to stop shoving down junk into our children. So for us to do that, we need to learn to meal prep, right? So you can actually do a list of what kind of foods what kind of foods can I make that would not take so much of my time, especially in the mornings, that I can just package, put in the microwave, warm it up, and pack up for them, right? Very simple meals, muffins, pancakes. I like to do pancakes. I have Zobo. So for me, this term, I want to try them out with Zobo. I'm going to buy pouches, small like juice pouches for them. So I'll do the Zobo in a large quantity, and every morning or the night before, or I could pack them up in the pouches, freeze them up in the freezer. So in the morning, I just put it in their lunch boxes for school. Right? So you need to it's not when they resume that you now say, oh, I should have done this, oh, I should have done that. We still have some time. We have a few days before resumption. So we need to get all those things done. Make sure you know certain special dates, right? Meetings, activities in school. Check your emails, check your school emails. Make sure you have read through the most recent emails that your kids' school have I done mine? I need to check and make sure I've done mine. Okay, I'll check too. But make sure you've checked the most recent emails that your kids' school have sent, right? To be sure that you're up to date with all the different dates. Save them in your calendar. Those children actually don't feel happy when you miss those very important activities at school. So if you know you will not be there, explain to them and let them know, okay, my darling, I'm not going to be there. If you can't send a representative, please do send a representative. If you can't come, also come if you can. All right. and then make sure that they start going to bed on time. That is one discussion I had with my kids, and I said from today, Tuesday, 9 o'clock, we have to go to bed. 6 o'clock, we have to wake up. We need to now get back to the school wake up routine. Enough of the waking up whenever you want to go to bed, wake up, go to bed whenever you want to go to bed. Holiday is officially over from yesterday, which was a bank holiday. So after today, everybody's going to go back to the school routine, right? Or wherever they hang their bags, make sure that they know where their bags and their lunch boxes are going to be kept, because these kids can really litter the house with all of that, right? So when they should have a designated place where their bags and their lunch boxes and their school shoes are kept. I'm a witness to that. They can litter it wherever they decide, and then remember, oh, mommy, I'm looking for one leg of my shoe. Oh, mommy, did you see my food flags? I've actually experienced that in different forms. So yes, we need to have that all organized. Make sure that they have everything they need. If your children's school requires that they bring maybe pencil cases and all of that, make sure you've gotten pencils and pens, sharpeners. For those in older classes, my daughter is going to secondary school. She needs a calculator. She needs a math set. All those things need to be gotten. Their uniforms, make sure that their uniforms are clean. If they wear jumpers and sweaters and hoodies, for those of us going into the colder months, make sure that you already have their winter jackets being washed, their raincoats, their wellies, their jumpers, their everything that they need that is not even part of their uniform, because anticipate rain. If they need an umbrella in their bag, how are they going to get picked up from school? The school bus, is there anybody that's going to pick them up? All that arrangement has to be made so that we don't get caught up halfway in the term, and then we now start having to beg somebody when you could have just gone into a proper arrangement with the person before the beginning of the term. And I say, if you do that early, it saves you money, because you discuss with the person, okay, this is how much, instead of doing it halfway in the term, and then you now be at the person's mercy. So if the person doesn't do it, well, madam, you didn't tell me on time. There's nothing I can do. And really, you didn't tell the person on time. I don't think anybody will want to be in that kind of position. So please, parents, we need to make sure that we have all these things sorted out before the kids resume. And then when they resume, try as much as possible to get to know their new teachers. They are going into new classes now. This is a new academic year. Try to meet the teachers. If you can get their numbers, but try to interact with them. Try to know what you expect the child to learn, or how far you expect the child to get to. Okay, so if he's doing 2 or 3 letter words, you should know that, okay, by the end of this term, he should be able to read 5 or 6 letter words. Let me put it that way, so that you too can also know how you're going to help the child, because you don't leave the teaching to the child, or maybe to the teacher or a lesson teacher. Your own input is as important as that teacher or that lesson teacher. In fact, it is more important, because yours is going to be with that child for a long time. After that class, that child might never see that teacher again in life, but he's with you. So you are your child's first teacher. So you have to be aware of the steps they are taking, how far they are going, what they're learning. Even if you don't understand, you can really look it up online. I don't understand what your teacher is saying, but I'm going to read up on it and then look for a way to help you. We need to be as involved in the lives of our children as possible. So parents, this is like a brief rundown of everything I think that we need to do to get our children ready for school. We need them to look smart. We need them to make waves, but we also have our own part to play in that, in them achieving what we want them to achieve. All right. So once again, this is Chichi Dagogowari. So remember, I said I'm gonna put the checklist in the comment section, so that you can also look through it, download it, read through it, and make sure that you've dotted all the T's and crossed dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. All right. So next week we're going to be talking about something more interesting than this. I expect you to give me your feedback. Let me hear what you have to say. Please interact in the comment section. How do you prepare your kids for school? How far have you prepared your kids for school? Next week, we're going to be talking about something more interesting. So please hang in there. Don't forget to share, like, comment, share. Let everybody know that Blossoms Korner is back. This is Chichi Dagogowari. So once again, I'm signing out.